some regards, especially coming from the culture that we come from, he's a failure to have lost all his marriages.
Well, in all regards, the rest of society views it that way too, so may as well spread the wealth. Sister Wives' final first impression.
If we can't make this balloon payment that's coming up in like 3.5, 4 months, technically they could take the whole property back because we signed a really bad contract. We were not smart.
Christine left, and because of the equity in her home, she traded that for her equity in Coyote Pass. So now Coyote Pass has just got 4 owners. How are we going to divide, yada, yada, yada? We're still going through that process. And Janelle's like, well, we got to pay it off. We got to pay it off. Got to pay it off. Well, I don't feel like doing you any favors, Janelle, but I know we have to pay it off.
You know, for someone who acts so dang smart, he sure does admit a lot on TV. However, I don't know how admissible reality TV footage would be in court for the fact that reality TV is highly fabricated. But anyway, we get going into they took a bad loan, which we all knew that. There was no way they were going to get a good one. And so they have this huge balloon payment coming up. But spoiler, the show is so far behind, they did pay it off. And I'm not sure if a lawyer was involved or not. Then they continue on to the conversation. And Kody's like, wait. Can we back that to Qatar? I really jumbled that, but you know what? I think it works. So I'm going to leave it then. Of course, he says this about Meri. What the hell?
Things that have gone on, my relationship with Christine, my relationship with Meri. Meri and I, fortunately, are in a place where we'll always be friends.
Yeah.
I'll never say a bad thing about Meri again. ...
again. And something must have happened because have you seen Meri's TikTok lately, Codester? Then he goes into this whole thing and it's all so manipulative because he doesn't believe anything he's saying, but he's trying to like get back with Janelle. But then when she says no, he's like, you know what? Actually, I didn't want to do that anyway. I was just doing that for you. Have you guys like had this exact same breakup before? It's so crazy.
I don't even know who he is anymore, really. Like, he hasn't been in my house for 2 years.
We haven't really talked about our relationship.
We've had some conversations. It's not like we've not.
Yeah, I know, but that's not really having a conversation about a relationship.
We have had so many conversations where I've said, it's done, we're not compatible. And he's agreed, and he's like, yeah, it's really sad. Like, why are we talking about that? I feel like it's almost like a diversion tactic.
It feels that way because it is that way.
Janelle and I talking about reconciliation is a pipe dream from both of us.
She literally just dumped him, and he's like, no, you know, I was just trying to appease her because I know that she wants all of this so bad. Oh, yeah, totally. Why do you want to get back together?
Because I'd like to be back in graces with my children. But I know that reconciling with her would require some kind of power game where I gave her all the power in the relationship, which I think is fair because I had it for so many years, but I'm not interested in that. I think it's a fake discussion for both of us. And the reason is because I think both of us, I'm telling you my heart's truth, don't want to be the one that's accountable for breaking up.
He said the quiet part out loud. He's not interested in a relationship with a woman wherein there is an equal power dynamic, or maybe she has more power or whatever. He only wants an imbalanced power dynamic in his relationship so he can continue to force these people to do things that they probably don't want to do. Then on the other side, with his kids, you need to go to therapy and fix those relationships. Crawling back into bed with their mother isn't gonna fix it. Not to mention her bed's already full. You said me or the dogs, she chose the dogs. I will never understand why people compare men like Kody to dogs. Dogs are wonderful. They don't deserve that. And can we get a second opinion on that whole neither one of us want to be responsible for breaking up a relationship in this big BS conversation? Really?
It's over. I guess I don't need some finality piece to say that, so.
No, yeah, totally. It seemed like she just didn't want to take any responsibility for that. Like, totally not at all.
You know, you complain about my independence, and I will complain about your selfishness and self-absorbed. You're a little bit.
Is that
a little?
In the past 2 years with the divorce?
No, just.
You feel like I always was.
Maybe you always were.
Yeah, you always were.
And there's a big question of the kids. The kids now talk about the dad they grew up with versus who you are now.
Well, they've shut me out, and they're going based upon recency bias. They're going based upon what happened during COVID.
Those are whole adults who have actually sought the help that they needed. So no, it's not recency bias. And that's why they won't talk to you, because when they try to express their feelings, you just start chewing really mean and get all...
Felt like your life centered so much about Robyn's house.
Well, in the past 2 years, Robyn's been this place that things were safe.
Kody, even before that, it felt like I wasn't as important.
Stop with the face. I also want to point out, just for severity's sake, these interviews where he's talking about this, like on the couch, were probably done well after the events of earlier this year. So that should give you an idea of how much of a wake-up call he got. I'm gonna have to do another part because there was just so much, but I want to leave you on this one.
They're talking like I've done some kind of evil to them. I'm missing something here.
What, you mean like being a somewhat present father for most of their lives and then just randomly disappearing out of nowhere and choosing your other family over them? I think that might qualify. But I will see you later this afternoon for the final part of this because it was more than I thought. I couldn't squish it and it's TikTok. But I'll see you then.